Hello and welcome to the Frost Seymour experience. I'm Paul Seymour.
And I'm Nick Frost.
How's it going, Nick? How you doing?
I'm alright, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, bud. Not too bad. Obviously, we've got a top 10 list here. We obviously said we were going to do this last week. This time, we're going to do top 10 managers. So we've had a long little haul through this. Now, I've not seen any of this. But as you say, Nick, you've done a bit of research. What's it about?
Yeah, well, I've put this together earlier. It's a fans poll which was conducted by Give Me Sport.
Okay.
They actually the top 20 managers, but we're taking the top 10, and we're just going to run through them quickly, see if we agree or disagree. Who do you reckon is going to be the top three, Paul?
Oh, God, top three. If it's currently, I'd say probably Pep, Klopp, and Mourinho, just for what he's done in the past. Yeah. It's amazing.
So to clarify, this is the top 10 current active managers. Not necessarily Premier League, just active in any league.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So let's kick on.
Yeah,
number 10.
Number 10.
Massimiliano Allegri.
He's
actually just left Juventus, so although it's supposed to be currently active, he's just left Juve.
Right.
After a very successful stint, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the awards he's won there. 5 years at the club. Serie A, 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, and 18-19.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing, that, isn't it, really, when you think about it? I mean, as I say, the Coppa Italia as well, he's bagged 4 of them along the way. So, I mean, the Italian league at the moment is quite dominant by Juventus, aren't they? They've obviously got quite a pinpoint, and obviously with Inter Milan coming up and obviously challenging them, and obviously got a lot of teams like Napoli and stuff, but it's still, like we're probably going to speak a lot about this as well, is the fact that, you sort of having the good team, you've got to make them gel. You've got to make them work, the good players. So, not as easy as you think, but obviously he's made it look very easy by literally dominating the last couple of seasons.
Yeah. He has, absolutely dominant. I guess probably Ronaldo's played a big part in that in the last year or so.
Yeah. I mean, they were doing well before he turned up, weren't they? I mean, they were doing business and they were doing this. But obviously, when Cristiano turned up, it was pretty much shut up shop now. Yeah.
So that's number 10.
Fair play.
Move quickly on to number 9, and this is for me the big shock of the top 10 list.
Okay.
Jose in at number 9.
Wow. Okay. So, goodness me, obviously Jose Mourinho has just been. I mean, look at those. I mean, look at how many titles he's won in each club.
Yeah.
He's not like he's had any. I mean, there's nothing bad there at all, is it? I mean, we start off at Porto, of course, when obviously he made his name after obviously being at Barcelona as the interpreter, wasn't he? He was like for Bobby Robson, God rest his soul. So yeah, he did well there, and obviously now look at him, he's just amazing achievements. But I'm like you, number 9.
Blown away by that. I mean, the guy's just walking success. He's If you want a winner, you call Jose, as it goes.
Yeah. Well, even at Manchester United, even though it was a short stint, he still won, EFL, well, easy for me to say, the EFL Cup, and obviously the Europa League, of course. And that was against Ajax, wasn't it? Which who were very promising in that final. But that's amazing.
He actually finished second, didn't he, for Man U, which at the time he said was an incredible achievement with this team, which everyone was like, oh, yeah, just, classic Jose chat. But it's not looking like he was that far-fetched now, is it? Because since that season, it's just been rubbish.
I know. It's madness, really. I mean, the thing is with that Manchester United team, not to go too deep into it, but they've had to. It's kind of like respecting the manager. And if they were struggling to respect Jose Mourinho after what he did, I mean, Oli had pretty much no chance, in my opinion. But yeah, just seeing that now, those achievements speak for themselves. So I'm very surprised they're that far down.
Okay, number 8, Luis Enrique.
Okay.
Current Spanish manager, I think. He may have just left, possibly. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, Celta, Barcelona and Spain.
Yeah.
And a fair few trophies to his name as well.
Yeah. And obviously a great player back in the day, So I believe I know he definitely played for Barcelona. I think he played for Real Madrid as well, among others. Celta Vigo started off, his managerial career there. Took over at Barcelona, and again a team that, yes, they gelled well, you could say, but at the same time you've got to make them work and respect you. And the fact that he had them under the greatest three I think they ever had was obviously Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. I mean, there's just no one who could have touched them there. 2 La Liga championships, Copa del Rey's thrown in with that, a Champions League, of course, and the Super Cup and the World Club Cup to follow. Yeah, amazing achievement really for Luis Enrique.
Yeah, great manager. And number 7, Didier.
Wow.
He's Monaco, Juve, Marseille, and France, and of course the big one, won the World Cup.
Yeah, huge. He won it as a player, of course, back in '98 after that fantastic final. Currently, you sometimes forget, don't you, how good managers are like Didier Deschamps. I mean, the fact that he's been at Monaco since 2001, he started his managerial career, and obviously built his way up through. He's obviously played for Juventus and Marseille in the past and stuff like that. So it's just the fact that he's achieved what he has at those clubs. I mean, you've seen there, if you notice, Juventus, Serie B. So he took over when they were there, dropped down that league. So
exactly.
Fantastic achievement. Well brought up there.
Do you think he can win the Euros with France? Do you think they can carry on that form?
I think if he gets some, he's obviously got the respect of the locker room. So I think if he can continue doing that, then yes. I can't see any team out there really that could potentially challenge him. I think he had that World Cup with the way they were playing. He had, other than like Germany and stuff like that, who obviously then struggled. But I think he can. I think he can go on and win the Euro and do pretty much what he did in '98 and 2000 with France.
Time will tell. It would be a nice story, wouldn't it?
It would be for him.
As a player and a manager.
Yeah, be great for him. Yeah, what an achievement.
Okay. Number 6. Antonio Conte.
Okay.
Juve, Italy, Chelsea, and Inter. Premier League with Chelsea, 16-17, and the FA Cup a year later.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, again, you just highlighted Juventus, a great player as well back in the day, of course, and 3 straight league titles in a row at Juve, and obviously got him the Italian job, and obviously on to Chelsea. And again, he that was the last time they won the league, wasn't it? After that Leicester win, obviously then Chelsea took back on, because Chelsea have those moments, don't they, where they sleep for a while and then they come back again. And I think he did well with him, because obviously just after Jose left, I think it's on Jose's second stint. So yeah, I think he's done well for where he's been at. Obviously Inter Milan, it's a big uphill struggle for him there, because he is going against Juve. But we'll see. Hopefully get some success maybe in the Champions League going forward as well. That'll do him the world of good.
Well, we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And then Carlo.
Wow.
Now you might notice I had to make his picture smaller because of how much he's won.
Yeah.
Just to fit it on the page.
Phenomenal.
I mean, what a career.
Yeah.
What a career.
Amazing.
So started in '99 at Juve.
Yeah.
Then to Milan, Chelsea, PSG, Real, Bayern, Napoli, and currently at Everton.
Yeah. Wow. It's almost like he succeeded at the big ones, hasn't he? And he decided, you know what, I'll peter off towards the end of my career and sit and check my talents out at a club that's, not flush. But do you know, again, like I said before, I'll say it again after as well, the fact that he's took over those teams, every single team there would have had a world-class star or 10 in that club. And the fact that he's managed them the way he has and guided them to those leagues and titles. I mean, at Milan, I never forget that 2005 final. They ripped Liverpool to pieces, And then as he came back and then won it a couple of years after. So it just shows you he's got determination with his clubs. And currently, what a job he's doing at Everton. 4 wins out of 4, looking very good. Those achievements, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I can imagine Everton fans just couldn't believe their luck when they heard he'd signed on.
No. Oh,
but
God. Yeah.
Let's just run through these achievements.
Yeah.
UEFA Champions League twice with Milan.
Yeah.
Once with Real.
Yeah.
Premier League with Chelsea. FA Cup with Chelsea. UEFA Super Cup twice with Milan.
Yeah.
Serie A, Coppa Italia with Milan. League One with PSG. Bundesliga with Bayern. And Copa del Rey with Real.
Just the World Club Cup on there as well. Got the UEFA Super Cup 3 times. Oh, the guy is just he just walks over achievements. I mean, you could say, he achieved the least at Juventus, but even that was still a trophy. But then obviously in Napoli, it was a tough uphill struggle for Napoli. They had a bit of bad luck there, I think, in my opinion, with that. But yeah, I mean that is just massive. That is a heck of a wall he's got. Yeah.
And Napoli is clearly the exception to the rule, as evidenced by all those trophies.
Yeah, definitely.
But we can't dwell on Carlo.
No.
Let's move on.
Yes, move on.
Number 4.
Ooh.
Diego Simeone.
Wow, okay.
It was interesting. So he was at Catania in 2011.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there for very long.
Yeah.
But he saved them from relegation in that very short period.
Yeah. It was
before
enough,
moving to Racing Club.
Yeah.
And then almost immediately being appointed Atletico manager.
Yeah. It's unheard of, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't think that a manager who... Could you imagine like someone like, say, Big Sam, for example, like saving as many clubs as he had in his time, but being rewarded with, say, a Man City job or Man United job. You know, it wouldn't be seen over here, would it? But over there, they give him a chance. And I tell you what, look what he's done since with them. Now that La Liga win there, obviously I know it's just one La Liga win, but at the time that season was heavy. But they won at Barcelona on the last game of the season, got applauded by the Barca fans. So they've played some great football ever since. Obviously knocked Liverpool out of the Champions League recently. I mean, he went there and he showed what he got. And it's his character. He's a great character as well. Yeah, fantastic amount of achievements that quick in his career.
Well, he always looks like he's about to kill someone on the sideline. So
you wouldn't want to mess with him, would you?
Yeah. Are you a fan of his defensive style? A lot of people say he's just too defensive and he just bores the game.
Yeah, see, as you know me, I'm a very much attacking person. I'd rather win 10-9 in a game. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the defensive strategies by most managers, but I think what it is with him, he's got a style to his play. So yes, he does do a lot of defending. He's very gritty, 2 men on each player. But then his forward play is just phenomenal. You know, they ripped Liverpool apart when I seen them play both home and away. I think we played better at ALLEGRI. But yeah, they were phenomenal on that day. And I think they have the odd game where they lose, but his defensive strategy is followed by that attacking fluid football. So I can let that one go on that one.
Fair enough. Now we go to the top 3, where, of course, one of your predictions was placed at number 9.
Yes, I can't believe that.
So, number 3, we have Zizou.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, currently at Real Madrid, of course.
Yeah.
3 straight Champions League trophies, so you can't really argue with him being up there, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of people are a bit sour on the way he's handled the Gareth Bale situation, but he's got the results. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's one player, isn't it, I suppose? And, you know, we discussed about the Gareth Bale situation before, and we've watched videos and stuff, but what I've got to understand is, as the man he is, obviously he was a fabulous player, one of the best players to ever touch a ball. And obviously, you could say the first Champions League he took over when the team were doing okay, and he kind of made them push on. But then to follow it with another 2 after that, you know, I just think that says it all about the man. It's not like a game of FIFA where you just restart and play again in the next half an hour. You're playing a full 2-3 seasons on top of that. You know, 2 World Club Cups on top of that as well. The UEFA Super Cup, naturally. And the Liga titles. Again, that's another massive thing. And if you just see there as well, the fact that he left the club for a short stint and then came back, you know, because he was that well liked. So,
well, while he was gone, they were falling apart, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah. He came back and they won the 1920 title.
Yeah,
which says a lot about him.
He's the glue, isn't he? So
he is.
He makes it work. But I think there's a little bit of Fergie in him. Not complete. Obviously, they're completely two different people. But there's a bit of like, you wouldn't mess with him. You wouldn't want to say no to him. You know. And,
I get that.
So.
Very much the way Fergie was Mr. Manchester United.
Yeah.
Zizou's Mr. Madrid.
He is. Yeah, he definitely is. So, yeah, I can't argue with that.
As he's up there, let's reminisce about that volley he scored in the Champions League for a second. One of the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah. You know, and even though people talk about overhead kicks, so don't get me wrong, Bale's goal against Liverpool was phenomenal. The fact that he caught it the way he did. But I'd argue that the fact that the goalkeeper wasn't so great. And again, a lot of overhead kicks, I think, are just hitting hopes. If they pull off, brilliant. If they don't, they don't. What Zizou did is the fact he had his eye on the ball. And as it come down, he hit it so perfectly. Oh, and it wasn't even an upshoot, was it? It was like a side kick. Just phenomenal. That's still my favourite Champions League final goal.
Yeah, I agree. But manager in place number 2.
Who is it? Oh,
Pepster.
Ooh.
In place 2. So I picked his picture where he's doing the old 2, 2, 2.
Of course, I enjoyed that moment. I won't talk too much about it. I did think that they were hard doing to that game, but you didn't hear me say that. But yeah, I mean, look at those.
He did have a point, didn't he, in that game?
He did. There was a few handballs in there. I can admit it. But, you know, oh well, you know. Boom, as they say. But yeah, again, let's go on to the achievements, of course. Now, you know what I'm like? I'm very much a vocal person when it comes to someone who could just say, right, here's a checkbook, get on with it. But as I mentioned previously, you've got to buy right, you've got to play good football, you've got to make it work. And the fact, look at those achievements. I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's been at 3 clubs, massive clubs, all, you know, Barcelona, the football they were playing back then, probably the best football I've seen a club team play. You know, and he achieved so much at Barcelona, of course. And Bayern Munich, I mean, 3 straight titles in a row. You still got to defend them off from other clubs coming up, like your Dortmunds and all that. So again, it's not easy to do. And then Man City, of course, first season didn't do so well. But what I do like about him, the fact that he's going for the League Cups. Now, a lot of teams will think, oh, we're too big for the League Cup. He's trying to build a trophy cabinet for Man City. It's all right winning leagues, but you've got to try and build that extra up. And that's what he's willing to do as well. So, yeah, fantastic achievements.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, the inventor of tiki-taka, many credit him with that.
Yeah, fantastic. And
would you say Barcelona's greatest ever manager? Certainly in the conversation.
I'd say so. I'd say, yeah. When you think about it, obviously Luis Enrique did really well in his short stints. But I think that, by far, I think he took over from, what was that? There was a Dutch gentleman. He used to, Rijkaard. I can't think of his first name, but Rijkaard, great player for the Dutch. He took over from him, and it was, he's just inheriting Ronaldinho and Messi and all that. He still had to make it work, and having David Villa there, and that game played against Manchester United when they beat them 3-1, they just tore him apart. His football was phenomenal. He had Iniesta and Xavi. Oh, God. You think of that team he had. He's got to make them pass, and that's the thing. Phenomenal. So, yeah. I'll give him his due. Respect.
Yeah, well deserved. Rank 2. And number 1. I mean, could there be any doubt?
Well, I'm hoping not. Yeah. Oh, what happened there?
30 years of hurt.
Yes. So, again, let me just put this out there. This was Give Me Sport, as you mentioned earlier. Their poll. Not our poll.
It's not our selection.
It's not our selection, just in case there's people out there cursing. For me, I've never been excited about having a manager at our club as much as I had with Klopp. He was the first person I put on my wallpaper when I seen his name, and I would get mocked. Oh, he won't do anything. He's just like the others. He'll just be there for a few seasons and fall off. There was something special about Jurgen, and I just loved the way he is, his mentality. I love everything about him, and I love him even more now, of course. I think he's just phenomenal. The fact that, yes, he has brought Liverpool their first Premier League title. Watching them growing up, I never thought anyone could do it. You know, Rodgers had a chance. You know, you had Benitez had a chance. You had before him, you had Houllier. There's a few people who had a pop, but weren't quite enough. This guy not only took it, but he ran with it. But yeah, going back, not just Liverpool experience, let's go back to Dortmund and what he did for them, of course.
Well, he broke the Bayern stranglehold, didn't he?
He did, which is a strong...
2 seasons.
Yeah, strong stranglehold. And I think he took over Dortmund then when they were in the relegation zone in Bundesliga the first season. So, again, he likes a challenge, doesn't he, old Jurgen?
Likes to build a dynasty, which he left at Dortmund, and he's definitely building one at Liverpool.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, you see there's a manager there for 7 years at Mainz. Is it Anfumpf? I think that's the correct way of saying it. He was, that was his boy club, of course. And obviously, when Dortmund come calling, he jumped ship and took on the way he did. But that Liverpool team, I mean, he made Hendo look phenomenal. Probably, a Premier League captain. It's won all these things. I mean, when you talk current managers, yeah, him and Pep will be battling out for hopefully a couple more years. Fingers crossed. And it's great for obviously the neutral. But yeah, I'm made up with that. Number one for me. He's number one. My favourite manager. I know people talk about Shanks and Paisley. Of course, that was the era. But for me, Jurgen Klopp by far is my favourite. Naturally. Of course.
But yeah, I agree. Hopefully him and Pep will both be in the Premiership for a few years to come.
Yeah.
Could be a great rivalry.
It could be. I
Very
think
much the new Wenger against Fergie.
Yes. And it's more, as opposed to more like, whereas Wenger, in my opinion, had more of a kind of, he had a talent pool, but then Fergie also had a talent pool, but he knew how to nurture it and he adapted with the times, didn't he? But this one is, again, Jurgen Klopp had not much to work with. And he moulded. The fact that he would sell Coutinho to make that money to then buy Van Dijk and Alisson the way he did, he didn't have funds just given to him. He had to sell to buy, which is how it should be. Just bow down to the man. So, yeah.
That's the top 10.
Yes. Cool.
Special treat. Before this, me and Paul looked at our own top 10, and we've gone for the top 10 Premier League managers of all time, in our opinion.
Yes.
I mean, there couldn't be any doubt, really, could there? It's Fergie. There's no question about it.
By far. Yeah, Alex Ferguson was a rival for yourself, of course. When you were Blackburn Rovers, obviously, were rivaling. So, obviously, he was a King Kenny there, and then, obviously, rivaling with Liverpool for all those years, and other clubs like Wenger. He battled all our Mourinho. He, like I said just a moment ago, he changed with the times, and he was just phenomenal. I don't think there's only going to be any Premiership manager who surpass that. None of them. Fergie is the man.
We've got Arsene Wenger at number 2. He runs him very close, of course.
Yeah.
Doesn't pip him because of the lack of titles in comparison, but let's point out the only manager with an unbeaten season in the Premiership. That's no small feat. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, Wenger's been fantastic. What I loved about Wenger is he took over, was it like 97, 98 season or before that a little bit, and he nurtured the team. He had like Dennis Bergkamp as his one of he inherited him in, right? Fantastic, turned them into world beaters. They won the league that season, or 98. And then he brought in obviously the likes of, Thierry Henry. I mean, that one of the best players I've ever seen, again, and Vieira, and made him work, and that team was phenomenal. Oh, God, I mean, Arsenal were the second team I used to love watching on the side, just seeing how they were doing, how good they were. So, yeah, Arsene Wenger's fantastic. And he just picked, because we were discussing about this in Mourinho, weren't we?
Yeah.
So, in terms of Mourinho being more trophies, in the Premier League, it was just more of their longevity, I think, overbeat Mourinho.
Yeah, Jose, number 3, which is where we expected him to be in the fans poll, but
yeah,
I guess he's got quite a few haters, hasn't he? He's a very polarising manager.
Yeah, he's a Marmite manager. Yeah.
Can't knock his achievements.
Definitely. I think he's just again, he turned up at Chelsea. He turned them round. He had that arrogance, didn't he? It was a special arrogance. He knew he was good, and he proved it. I don't mind if you got arrogance, you can prove it. So he did. Then he obviously went away, won some titles at Real and Inter, came back, won another title with Chelsea. I mean, it says it all really. I mean, he's the only manager, I think, to do that, isn't he? To come back and win another league. So, yeah, phenomenal. And you've seen his achievements earlier. The guy just oozes, winning, if you will.
Okay, then we've got Pep at 4.
Yeah.
Which I think is reasonable with his, with his winnings. I don't think he makes the top 3 yet. A few more years, he might be up there if he sticks around.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we discussed this earlier, didn't we? Obviously, because we went for Klopp a little bit later on, but and even Ancelotti in 5th. But in terms of Premier League managers, like I was mentioned 100 times in this video already, Pep had to nurture that team, make sure they work for him. He inherited obviously a lot of good players, but again, he still has to make them work his way. And he did a fabulous documentary on Amazon Prime as a free plug, but it's worth checking out. Even as a Liverpool fan, I quite enjoyed that. And they've got one with Jose, which I need to check out again soon. But yeah, Pep Guardiola has been the greatest great football in the last couple of seasons. He's been phenomenal.
So then at 5 we've got Carlo Ancelotti, Everton manager.
Yeah.
Not really there for his Everton job so far.
Not yet. Not yet.
Again.
Hopefully not yet.
If he does take him from Everton, if he carries on the way he's going, he'll definitely be climbing up this list.
Mate, I tell you. Yeah, I think so. I think he'll creep up. Definitely. To win a league at Chelsea is one thing. And obviously all those other tremendous trophies he's won. But the fact, if he could take Everton to a league title when nobody would expect it. It's like the Leicester situation. It's like nobody would expect that. And the fact that he got James Rodriguez in just off his name alone just says it all about him, doesn't it, really?
It's mind-blowing. Then we've got your boy Jurgen.
Yep.
At number 6. Obviously, this is top Premiership manager ever, so although 6 may seem low, he's only won 1 Premiership. But, plenty of time again. By the end of his career, if he sticks around at Liverpool 5-6 more years, he could easily be in the top 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I went, when we agreed, I think, I went to Ancelotti over Jurgen. Yes, Ancelotti's only won 1 Premier League, but it's all his other achievements he's done. And what he's doing currently at the moment with Everton. I just think, not just the 4 games, of course, but again, he's had to turn a mid-table team. Whereas Jurgen Klopp, yes, 5 years, he's changed Liverpool from a struggling team, or whatever. But how many finals has he been in? 4 or 5 finals. He's won. He's finally broke his duck and won a final as well, and then the Premier League, and then 2 seasons as well. 98 points and then 99 points. Like I say, Guardiola achieved that as well with the 100 points, and obviously then the 99 points of the season before. I just think that Jurgen's up there at the moment. I think he's above the other 4, but we'll go on to that anyway. Claudio Ranieri's next.
He is the 5,000 to 1 miracle man.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, let's be honest, he's in there purely because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a miracle.
It was. It was an absolute miracle. Like, the fact that he took a team like Leicester, Nigel Pearson, I was going to give a shout out to him real quick because, yes, they were struggling down there. The season before, they were in the relegation zone. I wrote them off. I said they're going down. And then all of a sudden, they had this big surge of wins and they brought them back up. So Nigel Pearson's got a lot of love coming from that. And then obviously Claudio took over and then just raised them higher than they ever thought they ever would be. I mean, my goodness. Fantastic achievement. A team like Leicester.
It's just a shame he got sacked the year later.
It is, yeah. It's a shame for him. You should have given him another chance, but I think people want results instantly now, don't they? It's just the way of life. And once you've won that, they want it more. They want this. They want Champions League.
You'd think winning that would give him a bit of credit, though.
You would.
I guess not.
No.
And then my man, and your man, really.
Yes.
The king of Anfield, and the king of Ewood, King Kenny Dalglish.
That's right. Got a name. I think it's no one else on this list has got a name other than Fergie. Got a stand named after him. Great achievement at Blackburn. Brought in some great players, made them work. I mean, you can talk about that season.
Well, yeah, of course. Brought in insurance, the SAS, of course. most feared strike force in the history of the Premiership.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came in. Obviously, he spent some money, but pittance really in comparison to other teams.
Oh yeah, in today's standards, definitely.
Even back then, people saying, "Oh, they spent a lot," but it wasn't really that much.
No.
But Man U was still spending more than Blackburn.
Yeah.
But he built a team, and it was a hell of a team.
Yeah.
And they came second the season before, they won the league, and then 94, 95, boom, smashed it.
Pushed on.
Yeah, I mean, probably could have won the following season if results hadn't fell away. I think we finished 7th that year, and we had a decent-looking team heading into the season after that.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Shearer got homesick and went to Newcastle, and it all fell apart.
That was it. I agree. I mean, the thing was with King Cam, was he there? I mean, he had Champions League the following season as well, on top of everything else.
That's why we finished 7th that season. Champions League was
it's a tough
small squad, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a tough one to go at. But yeah, King Ken only come back to Liverpool, of course, and won the Carling Cup. Just a little mention there, of course. So, but yeah, moving on to Harry Redknapp.
Right.
Yes, I like Big Harry. He's been at several clubs, hasn't he? We discussed this earlier. Obviously, he's been at Tottenham, Southampton, Pompey, Bournemouth. Was he
in the FA Cup for Portsmouth, of course?
Yes, he did. Great season that was. Brought in Peter Crouch, wasn't it? Up front, Defoe. What a combo. But yeah, Harry Redknapp's just been, the fact for me, what pointed out to me, is his longevity as a manager, of course, but at the same time, he took that Tottenham squad that was struggling. They couldn't put two passes together. And he took them and he brought them up to Champions League qualification. And that just shows the respect they have for the man.
Seems like he's been around forever, doesn't it?
He does. Yeah, Big Harry Redknapp. The one that England got away, I think if he was England manager, I think we would have won something with him. But
he deserved a shot which never came.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And of course, he gave us one of the great transfer stories, didn't he? That,
oh, yes, of course, yeah. What was that player's name?
In the car and the window was wound down.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I tell you, there's a few good stories about Harry Redknapp. But yeah,
good character for the game.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
And then rounding out our top 10, we've got Big Sam.
Yeah.
Or as some rather mean fans call him, Hoofball Sam. But look, he keeps teams up and he gets results. Teams that are struggling, he keeps you in the Premier League. If you want a firefighting job done, Big Sam's the man you go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was in charge of my club, Blackburn, for a while. He was in charge of us. He got sacked from Blackburn when we were 9th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And from there, we plummeted, absolutely plummeted, because he was overachieving by far. And that's what he does. Every club he's at, he's got them punching above their weight.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me wonder. I feel a bit bad for him because the fact that, as mentioned earlier, like with the likes of Simeone, the fact that he's done what he's done at these clubs, and yet he was never given like one of the top 6 to kind of nurture and have a go at. Like it's almost as if I didn't want to take a chance on him, but he was proven, wasn't he? And we mentioned this earlier, how he made the list above Mancini, obviously Pellegrini, have won Premiership titles. It's about what you do with the team you've got. And arguably, you could say Pep has done the same with that, but he's nurtured that team. Whereas I think Pellegrini and Mancini kind of just, Mancini got lucky, I think, with that Man City game, QPR. But I just think Big Sam. When you mentioned his name, I agreed because I just thought he's done a lot, hasn't he? Really, with the clubs he's had.
He has, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And that concludes our list.
That's it. So there you go. So again, if you enjoyed this list, or if you want to put your own comments and put your own list and see what you think about it, and please do so in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, of course, and check us out every week. We're on every Monday, Tuesday. The Premiership will be back next week after the international break, so we'll get back on that again. And obviously the big Merseyside derby next week, so I'm a bit nervous about that one. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Stay safe.
See you later.